So here we are supporting them, doing everything we can to stick with them. And what are they doing to us? Insisting that they don't want their monies in cash. But that on the side, there's a game today. It's Ghana-Portugal. After protests against non-payments of appearance fees for the 2014 World Cup, governments of Ghana sent $3 million. That's a lot of money to the Black Stars to avert boycott of today's match against Portugal. The Black Stars of Ghana lost their first game against the USA and held a 2-2 draw with Germany. The team will later today take on Portugal. They need a win. Why am I even saying all this? Let's get into the discussion. Coach Apole Boateng is joining me and George Adejunior. Thank you guys. So first of all, let's do the tactics. What do we have to do to get to the next stage of the competition, Coach Apole?
Well, by this time, I expect that the video analyst and the scout who did major work on the Portuguese, they've been able to give the report to the coach. Because I, for instance, have been able to analyze that the Portuguese goalkeeper, I don't know whether he will start, Rui Patricio. He was having an injury the last time. That's why he could not be in the post when they played against USA. But if he will be in the goal post, he's a left-footed goalkeeper. He always wants to take the ball to this side, so you need to press him from the end. If the ball comes here, he can't kick the ball with his right foot. That's one thing that we can exploit. Then the other one, Bruno Alves. He's a central defender. He's a tall, thick guy. He comes in to knock the ball home when they have set pieces like corner kick and free kicks. And we've been conceding through corner kicks, so we have to be very careful. He usually goes to the first pole, and Asamoah Gyan is the one who defends Ghana's first pole by zonal marking. That's you stand alone, you don't man mark, you stand alone. Yeah, so he will have to watch that when they have those set pieces, because Alves runs from behind and come to the first pole to head the ball in.
Okay.
Yes, so they have to watch that. Then they usually try to find Ronaldo when they are doing their counter-attack. So we also have to make sure when we are attacking them, we have one or two people policing Ronaldo to make sure that when they break...
Who is the best person to do the job?
Well, it depends on who will be around him. That's usually the thing to do. If you ask somebody to follow him and it comes to a different zone, the person might not be where he's supposed to do his work or be...
But why are we even thinking Ronaldo? Because he's been very useless. So far.
Yeah, so far. But you still have to make sure you have an eye on him, because he can still do something magical like he did against the US when he gave a good cross. So, but the good news for us is that the Portuguese are predictable. They play 4-3-3 system, and that's okay for us. They cannot surprise us. And then apart from that, they do a lot of long diagonal balls. You know, long balls go this way, but they do it to the right side because of Nani and their right back, Joao Pereira, for them to cross the ball in. So it's so predictable that we should be able to curtail the attack.
Okay.
To be able
so,
to.
George, the tactician, how many goals do we have to score?
Well, I think we need at least 2 goals, but we don't have it, right under our skin to do that. But in terms of qualifying, it's not all about us. We have to depend on what happens in the other game. And so we have to beat Portugal by 2-0 and hope that Germany beat USA by 2-0.
What do you think? Because there's been a lot of talk about the fact that they are all Germans and that they can fix it.
Yeah, it's about the 2 coaches. Jürgen Klinsmann in the last World Cup was a head coach of Germany, and Joachim Löw was his assistant, and he happens to be in charge of USA now. So we're thinking that probably there might be, much of convenience and say, why not just draw and get the 2 of us into it? After all, these Ghanaians are very troublesome, and if they find themselves at the next stage, it could be an issue. But you look at the German side and look at the history. They might not be comfortable with ending this competition with 5 points, especially in the group stage. They want to go out there. They're always looking for the 7 points and the 9 pointers. The only problem with them is that they've had an issue with the second games they played. Strangely, and Coach Apole will tell you, since they became real Germany, when it was West Germany, East Germany, since they became real Germany from 1990, they've had issues in the second game, and it goes on and on. They either lose or draw. So they're looking to come back powerfully against the US. I think they really want to win this game, and it's also going to be heartbreaking, especially if you're looking at it from a neutral point. Heartbreaking to see USA go out. I think they played some very good football this
Have we underestimated them? Because I think probably that's what we've done so far.
I think we did so the first game. We did so. And our coach said that he kept his great players on the bench waiting for them to be tired. And that was absolutely surprising from the coach. I just don't understand how
surprising?
I was very surprised that he could say that. Well, I don't want to go back to that. We moved from that. We're looking at how to qualify at the moment. I think USA will give Germany something to come in. Even if they draw and get us out of this competition, it won't be because they wanted to play a match of convenience. The USA have been playing well. Michael Bradley has been playing some good football in the midfield. They just know the way to go. They set themselves up, quickly get the ball to Bradley. He spreads it out there, and they are just right on the attack. But I think the Germans have enough firepower to beat them. That's why we think we have a chance in this one. A little bit on Ronaldo. Ronaldo is on his way back to fitness. So we saw him the first game, wasn't too good. It improved a bit with that last pass to Varela, who got the equalizer. Today, he might be on some form. Also keep in mind, there's been a lot going around this Kukubun Sam and a Ghanaian witch doctor and all that. He really wants to do something against Ghana. Also, there's pressure on him. Lionel Messi has scored 4 goals. Excellent performance yesterday against against Nigeria. So he also has that pressure because he's a world best player. And there's something that's been going on between Ronaldo and Messi. This might be the time to come up. We're up against a very strong Portuguese side.
Wow.
I think we still have the talents to undo them, but we have to be careful because Ronaldo can step up, and he needs to step up, really.
Coach Pele, a lot has been happening. How much of what has been happening, I'm talking about the money, you know, and this morning, I heard that Sule Muntari beat someone. I don't know.
Even before Coach comes, there's a little one. I have some friends out in Brazil now, and he says that when he went out there, maybe just mention the name Gary Alsmith. He says when he went out there, this is what happened. The friends out there were asking him, "Don't you have banks in Ghana? Why do you need to bring it?" Others were asking him, "When is the money arriving?" I mean, I think we're just making a huge fuss of all of this.
Did we actually send that much money to Brazil?
Yes, we sent that money to Brazil. Yes, it was a chartered flight. You're right. Yesterday night at 9 p.m. That was money in there. The boys insisted they wanted the money. A lot has been happening.
Do we know how they're going to take it out of Brazil?
Oh, I think whatever the case is, what we're hearing from our guys now is that the money is in there. I'm sure they'll be giving to them. By now, they probably have their cash.
So, see, I am thinking about it. Is it the players who asked for the cash, or it was the technical team? I am beginning to believe that it was the other people and not the real players.
I am questioning, just before Coach comes in, I'm questioning why Unibank is the sponsor of the Black Stars. Because they came on with this interesting idea of the MasterCard. They said we're going to get their money through that. I don't know how that went. And I don't know what the players are thinking about. Why would they want the cash? But it seems to me that it's here and there. It might be 50% the players and 50% those who are managing them. Because they're also part of it in terms of their appearance fees. They want their money, don't they? And the money they're talking about has already been given to the government. Because once you qualify, that money is made available. The government has it. And they're insisting that they need to get that money. Because if they delay and they're out of this competition, it might be an issue. We remember times past when John Mensah, the captain of the Black Stars, had to go and block the entrance of the Ghana Football Association. This is quite interesting. It wasn't because the Ghana Football Association didn't have the money, but because the government was not willing to release that money.
So why doesn't FIFA give the money to the GFA?
Well, it gives the GFA, but the GFA comes back to the government. Because the government says the owner of the Black Stars. That's what we are told to believe.
Yes.
So when it comes to the Black Stars and the national team,
I don't think we have control over the Black Stars.
No, yeah, we don't have. But the government has full control of it. That's why they want to put in the money, and that's why they go to them for everything. They give them those huge budgets and everything. So the players feel that the money is available. And rubbing salt into that injury, I hear the ambassadors have also been paid. Coach can talk now.
The ambassadors have been paid.
Their money. And they're like, why should they have their money?
They told us they were not going to pay them.
But they'll give them something.
So out of that money that FIFA gave us,
they'll give them something. Whether it's coming out of it,
we don't know.
How much of all these things would affect the players?
Yeah, there are a lot of factors that affect
Do they know everything that is going on?
Yeah, they should. They talk to people all the time. We also have people who
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Yes, with us. And they know, but they always behave as if they are not worried. Everything is fine. They are going to deliver. But then, look at what happened yesterday, where a footballer had to go and slap a management member.
Did it really happen?
Yeah, it did. But they will tell you.
What's the story behind it?
I learned they were having a meeting about this appearance fee. And so maybe the management member might have made a comment that did not go down well with the player.
It's just actually this is what happens. It's just Moses Parker says, I mean, guys, take it easy, calm down. It's but when did you join this management team? And if you're looking at when he joined, he's actually the latest to join, the latest to join the management team. And so he pushes the question to him, but when did you even join this? Like we said in Ghana, now Dabe now buy, And Moses Parker gets slightly, angry, and he goes on, and Sule Muntari gets attacked him. I heard Moses Parker held the neck, and Sule Muntari had to, slap him. A lot of things went on with iPads and stuff being crashed around the place. It was quite nasty. It was quite nasty.
I asked this question just before we went to Brazil. If the players respect the coach, and I guess it would probably extend to the whole officiating team. Is there respect in this camp?
No, I don't think so. The coach has really lost control over his team. especially with what happened with KP Boateng when they were at the training grounds, when the ball went to throw and he was having an argument with Sule. He asked Sule, are you the referee? And then the coach thought KP was talking to him. So he said, oh, go and sit down. And they started using the F word against each other. And then the coach broke down in tears later on in the evening.
And they said it didn't happen.
No, it happened. Everything
he's lost control. You know, Mama V, there's one thing I want to say, that even if we qualify in today's game or not, immediately they come down, they have to dissolve the whole team.
Yeah.
It has happened before in 1994, when after Tunisia 94, that's 20 years ago. Yes, they will have to dissolve the whole team.
Do we have the guts to do that?
They have to.
Because look at what is happening. It's as if we don't have the power to say, this is what we want to do.
I was thinking this morning that, well, who are the management members of the Black Stars? Who are those in the management committee? So far as I am concerned, the president is the chairman of the management committee. Yes. He's calling the players to calm them down. They've lost control of it. The players are beating them up. Kwesi Appiah granted an interview and said that, I don't want to talk about how much they're going to give them because they will kill me. Oh, yeah. Now that's you might say, oh, but he's telling you that the camp has become that erratic. Yes. That if he goes out and says something that players are not expecting him to say, they might come at him and beat him.
Did they really threaten that if we didn't give them the money, they would not play
2 hours. They held the bar hostage.
So what if we had said, okay,
it's just about us and the way we have brought them up. I think we've just pampered them so badly. Yes. We have to understand that wearing the Black Stars jersey is about doing yourself a favor and playing for the honor of your country. But we've lost that.
They sport for choice.
How many times? When was the last time you heard a European country crying or the players crying that give us our appearance fees? You don't even hear it. The German team are going to give them the appearance fees after the World Cup. It's the way we have set this up. We've been giving them money and money and money. After 30 years, they brought nothing to us. So if they come out of the group stage, I'll ask a big question then. The local boys, if they also went, probably would have come out of the group stage. Yeah. The foreign guys, when they came out of the group stage, we need to let them understand that wearing the Black Stars jersey is an honor. And that's the first thing.
And it's actually even to their benefit, because other scouts see them and they get them
and now they think that they're doing us a favor. They really think that they're doing us a favor. And we've allowed it on ourselves, because if Dele Ayew says I'm not playing again, Jordan Ayew says I'm not playing again, it takes the #1 man in this country, the president, to go and beg them to come back. They will feel that. Kevin Prince Boateng says I don't want to play again. Mike Layson, about half of the team, the core of the team, have been begged to come and play. They are doing us a favor.
I'm told with Kevin, you have to tell them that, look, I will need to bring in my own physiotherapist.
Can you imagine?
And when he comes in, you need to give him per diem and the rest.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what I'm told. And they accepted it.
And they agreed to that?
Remember when we won against Egypt, they were giving a winning bonus. When they went to Egypt, because they knew they were going to lose, they said, still give us losing bonus for coming to play in Egypt.
Oh, give us losing bonus?
Yeah, they were giving the money because they knew they would lose.
So I
want to be secretary of the board, the management board.
Well, maybe we have to change everything, and that's going to be a strong crusade after the World Cup. I'm sorry about saying this. I know we have to be talking about qualifying, but whatever happens...
Will the GFA allow us to say some? Because you know when all these things started, they said, oh, people back home are trying to plant things,
And I'm very happy that, Multimedia went ahead with that report. We did our news night on Joy FM. We knew what we're talking about. So when they come back, now they know the truth is out. Everybody knows that what we said was true. When they come back, there must be a crusade to clean up everything. I think we have to start from the GFA itself. Because I don't want to go to the match fixing scandal and all of that. We clearly can see that
What's the latest with that? What's the latest with that?
FIFA is actually on it. It's allowed the security body to work on it. So we'll see what comes out of that. Nyantic is denying it despite all we have seen. So we're waiting for FIFA to go through that. Whatever the case is, we're looking at that one. The next thing we're looking at is we probably have to look at the GFA itself again. Because they're feeding the boys, pampering them. And listen, there is a direct relationship between how much the players are receiving and the executives or the officials are receiving. That's why they're interested in this.
Yeah, Coach Apele.
You know, the funny aspect is that everything that came out of the camp, Sani denied. But when it came to the money, he said, oh yeah. Because as for that kick, he knows everyone will be sharing it. You see where I'm coming from? Everything that came out is not true.
Okay,
but the money is true. Because
so why didn't they give only the players the cash? And then the rest of the technical team, we do the normal transaction. They come back home and they get their money.
Well, it's already been set. So I think once you give the players the cash,
that would be unfair.
So Coach, what is the role of the minister in camp?
The minister is supposed to be with them, liaise between the government and the FA president as well as the team. But here he's not being around them. He's been doing his travel and tour job
and Coach,
in Brazil because he's doing the work that the travel and tour companies were supposed to do.
But
or
you
are
asked me,
supposed
I
to
don't even know why the Minister of Sports should go there. I don't think it's right. Don't we have an ambassador there? What's the role of
We
an
have
ambassador?
ambassadors.
We have ambassadors.
We
What?
have a coordinator
I'm even
with
talking,
them.
yes, because when they went to Holland, Tony Adu was there. That's why the ambassador is representing the president. So the sports minister doesn't need to go there. Even before we went for the World Cup, they've been there about 6 times. Say they're going to do recce, they're going to do all of that. Look at the story that's coming out of the supporters and the fans. What's happening to them?
Is this will be my final question, Kuchipele. You've
yes.
witnessed a lot of our World Cup. I think this will be this is our third.
Yes.
Is this our worst?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, definitely, because of what is happening. I've predicted this about 5 months ago, that this usually happens when a West African country, black African country, goes to the World Cup the 3rd time. You know, Cameroon is part of West Africa geographically, but politically not part of West Africa. Cameroon had 1 point in its 3rd attempt. Nigeria did same. So if we lose today, then we followed history. So it's no news.
And Ivory Coast, it was very disappointing.
Very disappointing. I think we have to stop tagging teams golding until they have won something. That's all. So let's call the 1998 French team golding. Let's call the Brazilian 2002 team golding. But don't call a team golding when they have won nothing. I think they've been overhyped.
Realistically, in Africa now, who is our best hope? Would it be Nigeria?
It's Nigeria. They've qualified. And it looks like they can have a go against the French. The French team is not looking to, but I just want to, because they're quite tactical. But we saw Nigeria come up against Argentina very well. There'll be those little things. And defense, yes, of Shaniwa, Yobo, I'm hoping they get Wabona back because the defense does not look too strong. And we saw that, Messi have a go at that.
But the difference between the French team and the Nigeria team is about the finishers.
Yes, the finishers.
The French have got the finishers.
Okay.
Giroud and Benzema and the rest.
But
the
coach, see, Nigeria, Stephen Keshi went with a lot of local players.
Yes.
Do we need a Stephen Keshi in Ghana?
That's the mistake we see Apia did. He tried to please everyone. He should have been his own man, be able to drop the senior players, go with the youth, tell Ghanaians, I'm building a team for
Michael
the future.
Essien to just be on bench and get $100,000
You know, even
for appearing.
Milovan Raiva took local players. It was Liadi in the World Cup the last time. I mean, Djokovic also took local players in there. It was
and
Shigali
your
in the
own
2006
local
World
man
Cup.
who
Didn't take anyone.
Ghanaians were preaching, oh, the black man can manage his own affairs.
Can't manage it.
Snubbed the local boys, went in for foreign players. Took only one local keeper. Even my mom can take a local keeper to go and sit on the bench. It's no job to do.
I think for once, when Kwesi Appiah comes, he should resign because he failed. I think he should just accept it. But thank you.
But let's see what happens. Maybe we have to go.
He might go
through.
but to me, the whole team should be dissolved.
No, you see, that is our problem. That is our problem. Once the gentleman failed, he should resign.
Well, anyway, but you see,
Serious.
if that's Ghana typically, and if we go through, and if we go through tonight, then it looks like
we'll forget about the issues.
We won't forget about the issues. It looks like maybe that prophecy that's hanging all around the place might come to pass. Because if we get to the semi-final, well, that's a record.
Well, the Kumasi-based prophet Stephen Adom Chedia says the Black Stars of Ghana will qualify from their difficult Group G from the round of 16. So he made a startling prophecy in a church service at his Believers Worship Center at Kenyasi in Kumasi.
Yeah.
So
this was before the World Cup, and he said we're going to qualify 4 points.
Seriously get out of this group?
Yeah, it's possible.
No, it's possible, but would we?
Statistically or based on if it is about historical antecedents, no.
No.
But it's possible because all the time it's only one African country that qualifies, and Nigeria have done that. So maybe Ghana will be the first African country to qualify alongside. We always like this first thing to qualify alongside an African country.
Yeah.
So let's see what
Judge, I want a yes or no.
I think I don't know what to say, but I think we'll try. But we might have 3 African countries. I think Algeria can try against Russia and get a point there and qualify, and maybe Ghana can also go through. I'm not too optimistic though. But let's see. All right.
I'll give the last say to the only Brazilian supporter here. That'll be Roland Walker. I'll come back with him to wrap up.